Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to teach you how to draw the circle of fifths. Now you might be wondering, why bother learning to draw the circle of fifths? Simple, when you draw something out or when you write it out, it actually strengthens your memorization of it. So by drawing the circle of fifths, you're going to gain a much deeper appreciation of the theory in the circle of fifths and also memorize the information in it. So the circle of fifths consists of really three steps if you're going to draw it. So step one is going to be make 3 circles. And we're actually going to have 2 circles in the circle of fifths, but then the inner circle is just kind of the hole in the middle. So here's the outer circle, circle number 2, circle number 3. All right, now hopefully you can draw better circles than I can. Step number 2 is going to be insert 12 spokes. And one thing to know about the circle of fifths is that you have 12 notes in total in Western music. I've written them up here, and you can see them represented clearly on a piano. Like all the white notes in the piano are just letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, etc. And then the black notes are the sharp or flat ones, like A sharp / B flat, C sharp / D flat. So there's a total of 12 notes. So you're going to need actually a spoke, really a wedge created by the spokes for each of those 12 notes. So it's really just like creating a clock. And so I'm going to start by, rather than just counting spokes, I'm probably not going to be able to make it even if I do that. So instead I'm just going to pretend that I'm creating a clock. So here's 12 o'clock, there's a wedge for that. And then I'll think 3 o'clock over here, make a wedge for that. And then 6 o'clock. And then 9 o'clock. So each of those is a quarter of the way around a clock. And now I just have to do the ones in between. So 12, I need 1 and 2. 12, 1, 2, 3. And now 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8, 9, 10 and 11. All right. So I have steps 1 and 2 complete of drawing the circle of fifths. Now step 3 is going to be to put a C in the top center, 12 o'clock, and then underneath it put A minor. And then from there, we're just going to go clockwise all the way around by perfect fifths. So I'm going to draw just like a clockwise direction. And what is a perfect fifth? A perfect fifth is an interval, and it's a total of 7 half steps. In other words, you're going up 7 notes in total. If you're in a major key, it's the distance between note 1 and note 5 in that key. It's also the distance between the first note in a major chord and the last note in a major chord, or the first note in a minor chord and the last note in a minor chord. So what would be 7 half steps above C? In other words, a perfect fifth above C. So here's C. We would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need a G right there. Now what's a perfect fifth above G? We would have 1, and then we just start over because really this should be a circle, but I put it up as a line at the very top just so it would fit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, D. Then we go 7 above D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then A would be number 7. And I'll speed this up a little bit. 7 above A is E. 7 above E is B. 7 above B is F sharp. And there's a little bit of a rule with the circle of fifths. And I'll just make a little note here with a star. You have 2 halves of it. If I were to kind of draw a line down the middle, then everything from that midpoint to the right, you would call sharp or flat notes, basically black notes in the piano, by their sharp names. And everything on the left of that line, you would call by their flat names. It's just a tradition rooted in classical music that you use for the circle of fifths. So I'll just say left, is flat, right is sharp. All right, so now we're in the flat side. So what would be 7 above F sharp? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have C sharp, but we're going to call it by its flat name, D flat. All right, 7 above D flat would be A flat. And 7 above A flat is E flat. 7 above E flat is B flat. And 7 above B flat is F. All right, so now what about the inner circle? You do exactly the same thing, and you just go like A and then add 7, which is going to be E, and so on and so forth. But guess what? You don't actually have to count anymore because I've already done the outer ring, and so I can just copy it with the inner ring. Now, bearing in mind that the inner ring is all minors, so you're going to have to put a little M next to everything that was in the outer ring when you copy it to the inner ring. So if I have an A here and an A here, then every time I go clockwise in the outer ring is the same distance of going clockwise in the inner ring. It's 7 half steps. So my perfect fifth of going 1 over is going to take me to E minor, and then B minor. All I'm doing is copying the outer ring here and putting a little M next to it. F sharp minor, D flat minor, but it's the right half, so instead of D flat, I'm going to call it C sharp. And now A flat minor, but instead of A flat, I'm going to instead call it G sharp minor because I'm still in the right half. Last time I have to do that, E flat, that's going to be D sharp minor. And now I just copy B flat minor, F minor, and C minor, G minor, and finally, D minor. Congratulations, you have now drawn the circle of fifths. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless.